Next quarterback story from the draft.
Yeah.
Drew Lock, Broncos in round 2. When you think about this, are you thinking about Joe Flacco? You thinking about John Elway continuing to look for that next quarterback? Drew Lock in round 2, your mind goes where?
Yeah, mine goes poor Joe Flacco, because he probably got done with round 1 at least when Denver picked, he was like, whew, I made it.
Yeah, right.
And then he was probably going, please, somebody pick Drew Lock before we pick again in the second round. So I did feel for him. I think the next thing I thought of, very early on, Elway was linked to Drew Lock. Even before the Senior Bowl, there was a lot of rumors out there that Elway had his eye on Lock and really loved him. And then I heard even more that at the Senior Bowl, when Lock, was really the star of the week of practice, that Elway was very hot on Drew Lock and what he does. Yes, as you know, I love Drew Lock. To me, this is one of my issues with scouting and everything that goes with it all together. I think Drew Lock was certainly a first-round talent. I think it was a weird year because there was only a certain amount of teams that really wanted a quarterback, so that played into it as well. I think Drew Lock also, people look at some of the rawness of his film from last year. There's some head-scratching interceptions and decisions, or people will go, oh, his footwork isn't that great, and that concerns me. And to me, that's where the over-evaluating goes, where we go, too much of the team and too much of the issues with the team are put on the quarterback. And I just, again, would like to remind everybody, Patrick Mahomes is 5-7 his senior year in college. Tell me how that's worked out so far. Yeah.
Right.
John Elway was 3-8 his last year at Stanford.
Was he really?
Yeah. Tell me how that worked out. So the team my dad was 3-7 at Morehead State. His senior year was the number 7 pick of the draft. But to me, that's what bothers me about the Drew Lock conversation. And I've had this conversation with some of my friends around the NFL. Don't you worry about his footwork? And I want to go, yeah, okay, but the kid's not stupid. Like, he's not a dumb kid. So he's going to go, the coach is going to go, take 7 and take a hitch. And he's going to go, okay, I count to 7 and take a hitch. He's going to figure it out. And my next point to all my friends that would always say that, I was go, well, yeah, but so 2 years ago when he was on a better football team at Missouri and he had a better offensive coordinator around him, we didn't have any of these issues. So don't tell me coaching doesn't matter. I mean, of course coaching matters. We just saw a guy pick the number 6, and the first thing we heard about was the coaching all the time. Right. So that's what bothers me about that whole conversation. But I do think Denver got the man of the future for Drew Lock. What
changes with the expectations for him going in round 2 as opposed to round 1?
Yeah, I think it just takes the public expectations away. And I think it maybe takes some of the pressure off of Joe Flacco there a little bit too, where he's going to feel like, okay, second round pick, there's not going to be this public outcry to get this guy on the field right now. We got to see what this star is, just like with Lamar Jackson last year. I think that now he can go, okay, yeah, this guy's here. It's kind of annoying, and I know I still got to play good, but I don't think the first interception he throws, the fan base is going to be like, give us Drew Lock. That would have been different if they picked Drew Lock at number 10.
Totally.
Then it's going, we want the future now.
Which is the pick they initially had.
And traded down, yes.
In a way, is it almost better for the player in this situation to go in round 2?
I don't think there's a lot of. Only thing that's bad is, yeah, you're not going to get paid the amount of money. But the positive thing, though, is yes, there's not the pressure on you to perform right off the bat. The other positive thing for the players, you're a free agent after year 4. Where if you're a first-round pick, they got the 5th-year player option and all those things, too. So those are the positives for the player. But, yeah, I'm a believer. And I really look at this Drew Lock thing. And again, Rick Scangarello, who's there, who comes from Kyle Shanahan's offense, it reminds me of a very Jay Cutler, Mike Shanahan fit that they had there early on in the Denver years. And, of course, he got traded away when Josh McDaniels took over. But similar skill set, I think that's what they probably liked about that offense. Scangarello's going to run an offense similar to Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco. And they need a guy that can move and is athletic and runs boots and can throw 40-yard lasers when he's on the run. And Locke can do that.
John Elway keeps looking for his guy.
Yeah.
How many more times is he going to get?
I think he got it this time.
Yeah.
I think this is the time. And I'm not going to get mad at him at Paxton Lynch. Hey, I'll sit here, full transparency. I thought Paxton Lynch was going to work out as the end of the first-round pick that year. He missed. So what? Okay. Right. Again, John Elway is being a little too harshly criticized for his quarterback views. I get it. I know he missed on that, and I know Brock Osweiler wasn't pretty. But damn, he did get Peyton Manning there. They did go to 2 Super Bowls with Peyton Manning there. And the list of free agents and players that he's drafted to build those teams is pretty extraordinary. So I think we're all a little critical of Elway, in my opinion.
But I think there's valid criticism there. You look at the history. You give him a pass for Paxton Lynch.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't really want to.
Right.
He continued. They brought in Case Keenum. They bring in Joe Flacco. They get another quarterback in round 2. So Peyton Manning worked out well.
Yep.
But besides that, it's pretty fair to question.
No, I get it. I understand the question. Okay, I get it. But there's still, again, people are going to miss at the quarterback situation from time to time. And he tried to put a Band-Aid on it last year with Case Keenum and just try to make it work. He didn't like the way it went down. He moved on. The one thing I give Elway a lot of credit for is he never second guesses himself or tries to make a bad decision work. He recognizes, okay, it's not going to work with Keenum. Chips in the table with the next guy. We're trying to win it this year. And I respect that about his game.
Other quarterbacks moving on past the bigger name guys in the earlier rounds. Will Grier, Panthers, round 3.
Yeah, I think the Will Grier, Carolina Panthers, I think is drafted clearly as the backup. I know, people were going, well, why did the Panthers GM even have to come out and justify this? Because people were talking about Will Grier as being a top, maybe a first rounder, a second round pick. Grier, to me, is the ultimate case of a guy that's not threatening to the starting quarterback. And he's going to get on the field. Everyone's going to go, well, it's not a great arm. It's not a great athlete. Cam Newton's the man. Right. And let's move on. And I think that's what that was.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.